From the Morongo Casino Studios, it's the Heidi and Frank Show on 95.5 KLOS and KLOS HD1.
Los Angeles.
Heidi and Frank Show. At 9 o'clock on Mondays, Christian Hand joins us to break down a song for us. What's up, Christian?
Morning, Frankosaurus Rex. First off, my Starbucks was closed today, so I'm running on about a third of a tank.
Oh, no.
And secondly, I'm distracted by this Instagram feed of this woman who's showing me that chocolate eclair can also have a number of other uses.
Ooh.
Did you know that?
I did not know
It was
that.
not me that showed you that, you sick.
You'll have to send
It was,
that to
it
me.
was Jordan said it was him.
Yeah, it's probably Jordan. That tracks. That
Yeah,
sounds
it
right.
tracks. I'm not crass for crying out loud. All right, it is International Women's Day today.
Yes.
So
Go, girls.
I was gonna do this. Because Chrissy Hines is one of the baddest of all of them.
I'm gonna use it. Intention.
Amazing story. She leaves Akron, Ohio to London in 1973 and started to work at The NME, which is the National Music Express, an English music magazine, and Sex, which was the store owned by Malcolm McLaren and Vivienne Westwood on the King's Road in London. And through that, she ends up playing in one of the early versions of the Sex Pistols and The Damned, and was also playing pool in the recording studio the day that Mick Jones of The Clash sang the vocal on, I believe it's Train in Vain, and he was looking through the window of the studio to her, and she was posing in the window and giving him finger pistols and everything, so he was performing that to her, even though the song isn't actually about her. I know, she's a feud, so dope. And on top of that, the record was originally recorded by a guy named Nick Lowe. If you're a music fan, you know Nick Lowe. And then he thought that, I don't think this band's going to go anywhere, so he turned it down. So Chris Thomas of the Beatles, Floyd, Roxy Music, Sex Pistols, Pete Townsend, INXS, and Paul McCartney fame said, I'll have some of that. So he took it on and created an epic track. On drums, Martin Chambers. Everyone else is playing in the room at the same time, so you get a little bit of the bleed through. Swag.
Is that a choice to play in the room at the same time, or what?
For vibe and energy?
Well, there's two choices. There's two reasons. The first would be that, yes, there's a vibe, there's an energy. People, when they play in the same room, you have sort of an interplay. But the other thing is cost. If you have everybody playing at the same time, it takes a lot less time to record the entire song. And with these guys, I would imagine that it also had a lot to do with the integrity of keeping the band playing, in the pocket and everything else, because they were
like
a bar
it this
band.
way.
Yeah. Little cowbell on the chorus. That's an overdub, love. Smashing that ride cymbal. So there you go. There's some Martin Chambers for you. On bass, you've got the beautifully named Pete Fondon. Full name, Peter Granville Fondon. Passed away in 1983. Really, really young. I mean, don't forget this record's made in 1980, so 3 years after this, unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But this groove, once again, the bass player showing up. This is your verse, the pre-chorus. Building the tension. To the chorus. 1, 2, 3. Yes! Payoff. Awesome. This bit. It's one of those songs that sounds like what it's about. Because, so the term brass in pocket, Chrissy Hine heard some cockneys talking in a show about if they had any brass in pocket for the laundromat. And brass in pocket would mean having change in your pocket, which means you'd have a little bit of cash, which meant you'd have some swagger. Because you had the brass in pocket, mate. And she took it as meaning she would have the swagger to walk on stage and be able to perform, so she wrote a song about that. And that's what brass in pocket means. Now you know.
I love that.
Welcome. I mean, it's 2021 and it took you this long to find out. Hence the purpose of the bit. I'm being horribly underpaid. So yeah, just strut. It's one of these simple, effective, some great little turnarounds. Cowbell. It's great. Chris Thomas. A G. One more time to the chorus so we can hear how good this bit is. Fantastic. You immediately just sort of do a Guy Ritchie sort of thing immediately, don't you, when you're listening to it? You just sort of like, you're like, all right, mate, I'll take it on. What do you got to do? Oh, don't make me glass you.
I haven't got any brass in pocket.
I haven't got any brass in pocket, mate. All right, can't do any laundry. All right. So, on guitar, you have the great James Honeyman Scott, who passed away at 25 of heart failure, unfortunately linked to cocaine usage. Johnny Marr of the Smiths states that he is his number one guitar influence, and the minute that you hear it, you know it's so obvious. But this track, this is when it starts to get deep. There's so much more guitar in this song than you assumed. Main track, this one. Beautiful. So good. Immediately, that's Johnny Marr. That's he's invented him. It's the Smiths all day. So if we had the bass, so smart. To the chorus. The chorus riff is this. Amazing. With the drums. And then this bit. Perfect. So that's your main guitar track. There are 5 more to come, by the way. Whoa. It sounds so much. It's so smart because it's way more complicated.
And that was just one guitar track?
That's just one guitar track.
That sounds like 2 guitars.
I think that what it is if you listen, there's one on either side. So it's actually the same thing being played twice. So it's 2 tracks, but one specific part sort of bounces a little bit. And it's directly down the middle. Now you'll notice this one is going to be on one side. This is a Telecaster track that just does this. Yep. Little rockabilly. And if you ever see pictures of James Honeyman Scott, he looked like a rockabilly dude. Had the pompadour and the whole thing is badass. So if you put the other one in, starts the Tetris. And then pre-chorus it goes. So fragile. And then while that's happening on the other side, you get this. So together it goes. And with the main one, you get. With the bass. It all starts to bounce. So good. And recorded impeccably, of course, because it's Chris Thomas, one of the only other people to do a Beatles record. So now we get to Chrissie Hynde's guitar number 1, which is doing this. Yes. I love the fact that like hers is the beefy rock stab. And then he goes to this. Ah, so good. So we put it in with the main riff. With the other one. Amazing. And in the chorus, she plays this. And then the other side, she's doing this version of it, which is even more aggressive. So if you put all the guitars together from the pre-chorus out, you get this thing. This is the Tetris thing that I'm talking about. It's so smart. It does this. To the chorus. But, Christian, I hear you say, that doesn't sound exactly like the song that I know. Well, that's because, my friends, don't call yet. We have a couple more guitar parts to go through. There's another one that's doing this in the chorus, which is brilliant. Caught in a trap.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Totally selling that melody. So if you put that with the stabby ones that Chrissie does, you get this. Beautiful. And then Jimmy's main guitar gives you this. The bass. Suddenly it sounds like the song.
But to me, when you point out Caught in a Trap, it's like, that is what that is to me when you're playing. So is there any credit given? Or
No, because it isn't exactly the same.
I know, but if
It's similar.
if Marvin Gaye can make money off what's
Robin
his name,
Thicke.
Robin Thicke. I mean, don't you think there's a couple of notes here that you could say the same thing
It's
about?
the couple notes, but it's not the motif.
Wow.
So that's when you start
That
getting
is how
into...
our brain does it. Our
Yeah.
brain makes it that way. But
Yeah,
it's,
it's like the guitar tone choice sounds like Caught in a Trap.
Oh, okay.
And the way that it begins makes you think of Caught in of Suspicious Minds, but the actual chordal progression is not Suspicious Minds, but it's hearkening to that because
Wow.
he was a fan of Elvis. All right, so he also provides the keyboards, which you didn't know were in this song, which is this beautiful Rhodes track that's going the whole time.
Getting sleepy.
Beautiful. The guitar. And now you see what it does. It becomes part of the guitar tone. So much more gentle a song than you thought. And then the chorus. almost imagined that it was much more of a bruiser of a rock song than it actually is. It's this really beautiful sort of, slightly resigned and reserved thing. Underneath that keyboard track, there's this. Which
What
is a
is
clavinet.
that? Okay.
It's a completely different song. It's so good.
I guarantee I've not heard that in that song at all.
Never. Point of the bitch.
Oh, that's right. It's a revelation every time he's in here.
Right? And then this. And you hear how all of the pieces are now. It was all in there the whole time, she said, smiling. It's my favorite. And now when you go back, you're going to listen to it, and you're going to hear all of that and go, I can't believe that I never heard it. Christian Hand is a genius.
So the keys were put in to, I guess, give the guitar sound a softer tone.
I think it's more because, so what they said they were going for, actually, and she said we failed at it, unfortunately, was they wanted to do like a Motown song. So they're throwing in all of the elements that a Motown song would have had in it at the time. You know, Stevie brought the clavinet in from, you know, the Superstition stuff and all of that, and the Rhodes is obviously a major instrument in Motown. So I think what they tried to do was to use all of the Motown sounds to generate the song, and then, you know, she says we failed miserably at the assignment, but the pieces are beautiful. They're just doing all the jobs that the Motown guys were using those instruments for,
and came up with something completely different.
Wow.
Which is ultimately, you know, what you want to do with music, is to take all those influences and shoot them through your prism and end up with something that's not been done before.
True.
And, you know, then just the title Brass in Pocket is so good. It's such a smart way to talk about having the swagger to walk on stage and be, you know, Chrissie Hynde. And then there's this vocal, and she's in like her early 20s at this point, and she's capable of this.
Got brass in pocket. Got bottle. I'm gonna use it. Intention. I'm feeling inventive. Gonna make you notice. Got motion, restrained emotion. I've been diving, detour leaning. No reason, just seems so pleasing. Gonna make you notice. Gonna use my arms, gonna use my legs, gonna use my style, gonna use my side step.
I never noticed that she said sidestep before. I was always like, what is that word that she says? And she says sidestep. I'm going to use my sidestep. It's so good.
Gonna use my sidestep. Gonna use my fingers. Gonna use my imagination. Cause I gonna make you see there's nobody else here. No one like me. I'm special, so special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. I got rhythm, I can't miss a beat. I got a new skank, it's so sweet. I got something I'm winking at you. Gonna make you notice. Gonna use my arms, gonna use my legs, gonna use my style, gonna use my side step, Gonna use my fingers. Gonna use my imagination. 'Cause I gonna make you see there's nobody else here. No one like me.
Here come the guys.
I'm special. Special. So special. Special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me, 'cause I gonna make you see there's nobody else here. No one like me. I'm special. Special. So special. Special. I gotta have some of your attention. Give it to me. And when you walk.
I love that because that's the moment when this is how soft her vibrato is incredible.
And when you walk.
It's like a character we don't get to see in the rest of the song. And then what's really cool is at the end of it, you can actually hear Chris Thomas say this. He says,
I know my onion.
it sounds good.
I know my onion.
Wait, what does he say?
No clue.
Oh, I was going to say,
about
I
an
thought,
alien.
I thought he said something about an onion.
It might have been something about an onion, to be honest with you. But it's for the sound of Chris Thomas in 1980 saying, sounded pretty good. So you get to, imagine that they might have done another take afterwards that didn't make the cut. But this thing is absolutely beautiful. And the Pretenders, Chrissie Hynde, one of the, the preeminent women in rock and roll. You have to remember 1980 to come out with this and to own that. And I always assumed that they were English when I was a wee lad, but then find out she's from Akron, Ohio. It's like, wow. And then, of course, being in the Sex Pistols and the Damned, she's a badass. So thanks to Chrissie Hynde and to all of the women on this International Women's Day who have, dealt with a significantly harder struggle than any man has ever had to deal with in the music industry. So props to you for putting up with it.
I mean, it's been so easy in radio, hasn't it, Heidi?
Oh, just a breeze. Absolute breeze.
So I'll be on
Thanks,
Instagram.
Christian.
You're
I had
welcome.
to put out two.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you wanted to.
I know.
Well, you know what? It's not easy to get that second clarinet seat.
I had to put out for second
I
chair.
know. Imagine what the guy in first had to do. I'll be on Instagram today, 11 a.m., the session IG Live. And again, tonight, I'm doing some Led Zeppelin tonight for Balloon Animals, so come and check out Whole Lotta Love. The drums alone will cause your head to explode. And then every day at 11 a.m., and then Wednesday night at 7, and occasionally during the week. The easiest thing to do is follow me on Instagram, the session IG Live, and also Christian James Hand on Instagram as well for that. And I'll see you back here next Monday, unless you're taking it off again.
No, not this Monday.
Okay, all right. Well,
No,
see you back
we'll
here.
see
then.
you back here
Okay,
next
all right,
Monday.
fantastic.
All right, another
Thank you,
great
everybody.
session with Christian Hand. All right, let's take a quick break. Come right back. We're Heidi and Frank.